Incidence from coronavirus has become the government's top priority as it fast-tracks plans to fight the disease. The virus is sweeping across the globe, prompting urgent travel warnings and shredding the global economy. Chris O'Keefe has today's developments.
A sweating, feverish Iranian Deputy Health Minister confirmed to have coronavirus. Proof containment isn't working.
We are preparing. We are preparing because of the developing international scenario.
An 8th Australian evacuated home from the Diamond Princess cruise ship is now infected. A pandemic plan is ready as a mass outbreak here looks more and more likely.
She might close the schools, she might change the configuration of the hospitals to deal with that.
Nursing homes, though, are a priority. Isolating residents, restricting visitor access, even potentially locking down entire facilities, all possible. That's because the death rate for coronavirus victims over 80 is almost 15%. 8% if you're in your 70s, and a steep drop for anyone younger.
We know that with the flu season in Australia, that has not uniquely but overwhelmingly had its most significant impacts on our older population.
Coronavirus is more infectious and has killed far more people than Ebola, swine flu, SARS or MERS. A hotel in Spain is now in lockdown.
We cannot go out either front or back.
With 10 dead in Italy and hundreds of cases in the north of the country, the Australian government has issued a travel warning.
Exercise a high degree of caution.
Trains are being disinfected in Iran. South Korea has large cities in quarantine, but the microscope is on Japan, with almost 1,000 people known to be infected and an Olympics a few months away.
We're very much aware of the issues. We're dealing very seriously with the issues.
Only 3 games have ever been abandoned: Berlin, Tokyo and London, all because of World War. The IOC says this is a new war and they have 12 weeks to decide if it goes ahead. At this point, our athletes are still planning to be on a plane to Japan in July. A cancellation would be extraordinary, but this isn't any ordinary disease. Chris O'Keefe, 9 News.
And coronavirus will soon impact cheap flights, with Tiger Air having its wings clipped. Dougal Beattie is at Melbourne Airport. Dougal, they've cut their number of aircraft.
This will lead to job losses for pilots and cabin crew at Tiger Air, Pete. The budget airlines fleet has now been slashed from 14 to just 8 aircraft due to the coronavirus and continued financial trouble. It's also announced that it will be axing 5 domestic routes, including the Melbourne to Coffs Harbour. Parent company Virgin Australia says coronavirus is having a significant impact on the travel industry. It was already struggling financially, so this has just made matters worse for it. Now, this all comes as Singapore Airlines cut its international fleet by 7% in response to the outbreak. And just last week, Qantas grounded the equivalent of 18 aircraft until the end of May. Now, this all comes as the Virgin Australia boss had no word on how many jobs could go.
It would be misleading of me to suggest that there's to be no job losses. Inevitably there will be, but we'll get to that number once we've been through that process.
And it was another bleak day on the Australian share market off the back of more coronavirus fears. It dived for a 3rd straight day, bringing the total losses to around 120 billion, a sign there could be more falls to come. Pete?